In the quiet darkness before dawn on October 23, 2025, at precisely 3:51 a.m., the silence over Western Russia broke apart. A rolling chain of explosions thundered across the Bryansk and Kursk regions, shaking homes and waking thousands. Many thought it was an earthquake, but as daylight came and satellite images appeared online, the truth spread fast. Ukraine had just carried out one of the most devastating precision strikes of the war, destroying nearly $780 million worth of North Korean missiles recently delivered to Russia. It was more than a military operation, it was a message, a declaration that Ukraine could reach deep inside Russian territory and strike where Moscow least expected. For weeks, Western intelligence agencies had been tracking suspicious cargo flights and trains moving from North Korea into the Russian Far East. Analysts spotted reinforced crates, too large and too specific to hold anything but missiles. Evidence pointed to the KN-23 and KN-25 series, powerful short and medium-range systems designed for range and precision. These were weapons Russia desperately needed as its own stockpiles ran dry. Ukraine's intelligence network, the GUR, worked in coordination with Western partners to trace every movement, from the port of Rason in North Korea to Vladivostok, then across Siberia toward Bryansk. Each shipment was logged, photographed, and analyzed. Cyber units, operating under the codename Aurora's Shadow, infiltrated Russian logistics systems and gained access to transport manifests and location data. Overhead, commercial satellites confirmed the pattern. By mid-October, the evidence was undeniable. 2 storage depots in Bryansk and 1 convoy nearby held North Korean missiles. Ukrainian analysts watched the sites for days, waiting for the right moment. When drones detected nighttime loading activity, signs that the cargo was being prepped for deployment, the order came through. At 11:30 p.m. on October 22nd, the strike began to unfold. Hours later, as clocks struck 3:51 a.m., a swarm of Storm Shadow cruise missiles launched from Ukrainian aircraft and sped towards the depots. Modified Neptune missiles followed from land-based platforms. Electronic warfare drones jammed Russian radar systems, blinding their defenses just long enough for the missiles to reach their targets. The first wave hit the perimeter walls, tearing through storage structures. Seconds later, a second strike buried itself in the heart of the facility, igniting warheads and fuel reserves. The night sky erupted in flames. Secondary explosions rocked the ground as entire rows of missiles detonated. Within minutes, the $780 million arsenal turned to fire and twisted steel. Russian emergency teams arrived before dawn, but could do little. The heat was too intense, the explosions too constant. By sunrise, the once guarded depots were reduced to craters. The significance went far beyond the damage. It revealed how much Ukraine's intelligence and strike capabilities had evolved. This was not luck. It was precision born of coordination between Kyiv's digital warfare units and its Western allies. Data from satellites, radar tracking, and intercepted communications had fused into one seamless operation. Ukraine had proven that it could not only defend, but project power deep into enemy territory. For Russia, the blow was humiliating. The destroyed missiles could have supplied months of long-range attacks against Ukrainian cities. Their loss forced Moscow to confront how exposed its logistics had become. Even inside Russian borders, no site could be called safe. Russian social media erupted with anger and disbelief. Military bloggers accused officials of negligence. Others suspected internal leaks or Western sabotage. But no matter the explanation, the result was the same. The USSR's supposed rear line was now a front. The strike also shattered the illusion of Moscow's shadow supply chain. For months, Russia had leaned on countries like Iran and North Korea to replenish its weapons. Iran sent drones and components. North Korea sent shells and now missiles. The destruction of this cache exposed how fragile that system really was. Shipments moving thousands of kilometers could not escape the eyes of satellites, drones, and digital espionage. According to Western intelligence, the eliminated missiles could have enabled Russia to sustain its bombardments through the winter. By removing them, Ukraine not only protected its cities, but also crippled Russia's next campaign before it began. At first, Russian state media tried to dismiss the explosions as a technical malfunction, but independent analysts quickly tore that story apart. Satellite images from Planet Labs and Maxar Technologies revealed precision impact craters and burn patterns identical to those caused by cruise missile strikes. Civilian videos from nearby towns confirmed the exact timing. Within hours, the truth was undeniable. Kyiv responded calmly. Later that day, President Volodymyr Zelensky praised the operation, calling it a message of justice to any country that fuels Russia's aggression. The speech resonated deeply at home. For a population that had endured countless missile attacks, the idea that Ukraine could destroy such weapons before they were ever fired was deeply empowering. In Moscow, panic spread through the Ministry of Defense. Leaked recordings revealed arguments between officers blaming each other for the loss. Some commanders were reassigned, others were placed under review. Inside the Kremlin, the failure sparked urgent meetings on how to protect future shipments. The fallout reached Pyongyang too. For Kim Jong-un, this was supposed to be a triumph, proof that North Korea could arm one of the world's major powers. Instead, it became a diplomatic disaster. The destroyed missiles represented not just financial loss, but humiliation on the global stage. State media stayed silent for 2 days, then issued a weak denial accusing Western agencies of fabricating lies. No one believed it. In South Korea and Japan, officials publicly confirmed the losses. Seoul called it a clear demonstration that illegal arms deals cannot hide from international surveillance. Tokyo urged new sanctions targeting North Korea's weapons exports. The strike not only exposed Pyongyang's role in the war, but also validated years of regional intelligence efforts tracking its proliferation networks. China distanced itself from the incident, calling for stability and restraint. Iran, worried about its own covert shipments being hit next, quietly slowed drone deliveries. Even Belarus increased security around its storage sites, fearing Ukraine's reach. For Ukraine's allies, the success was proof that modern war could be won through intelligence and precision, rather than sheer firepower. NATO analysts began studying the operation as a model of hybrid warfare, combining cyber infiltration, satellite coordination, and precision strikes. For ordinary Ukrainians, the strike carried emotional power. For the first time in months, the sound of explosions over Russia, not Ukraine, filled the news. Inside Russia, morale suffered another blow. The incident was compared to the sinking of the Moskva cruiser in 2022, a loss both symbolic and strategic. Soldiers began questioning their commanders. Civilians near Bryansk whispered that the war was now at their doorstep. Fear replaced pride. The strike's precision and timing demonstrated a new Ukrainian doctrine emerging from 2 years of hard lessons. Act before the threat arrives. Target logistics, not just launchers. Destroy capability, not just equipment. Every missile, every convoy, every depot that feeds the war is now fair game. Officials called it a strategic masterpiece. It proved that Western intelligence and Ukrainian resolve could dismantle even the deepest parts of Russia's war machine. Within NATO, some analysts began referring to Ukraine's approach as strategic reach. By sunrise, the fires over Bryansk were still burning. Satellite cameras watched smoke swirl through the early light. To some, it was just another headline in a long war. To others, it marked a transformation, proof that Ukraine had evolved from defense to deterrence, from survivor to strategist. For Russia, it was a nightmare. Its dependence on foreign arms had become a weakness. Its partners saw the risks. Its enemies saw the cracks. The war that once seemed contained to Ukraine had now come roaring into Russian territory. The lesson of that night was clear. In the modern battlefield, nothing is truly hidden. Every shipment leaves a trace. Every trace can lead to a target. And Ukraine, through its skill, patience, and intelligence, had learned how to follow those traces to devastating effect. As the sun rose over the charred remains of the depots, the meaning of the strike came into focus. It was more than destroying weapons. It was the destruction of an illusion, the illusion that Russia's alliances could save it. that secrecy could protect it, that power alone could win this war. Ukraine had rewritten the rules, and as the embers cooled, the world understood that this was not just a single strike, but a turning point, a moment when information, precision, and willpower changed the course of the war itself.